So you may have heard about the Agritourism Training Academy. You may have seen some of the topics that come up and wondered about them. But you know what helps? To really get in there and to have a look. So here we are in preview mode, and we're going to go through and have a look at what is in the Training Academy. Now, the great thing about the Agritourism Training Academy is it grows as the industry grows, as new trends come, as things change, as we find new and interesting things or gaps in the industry, we add into the Academy. You'll also get an email reminder if there's something new that comes in, so you get notified when new content appears. And you've got 2 years access to get through everything and to find out about these new trends and new things happening in the industry. So let's have a look. We have, I won't click start course, we'll just go through what is inside it for now. So we've got over 250 lessons at the moment and just a basic welcome to get you through. When you first sign up, you will get module 1, but you will also get a module about surviving through hard times. So you actually get access to 2 modules, but the surviving through hard times is down the bottom. So we'll start in order and we'll go through the order of the modules. So module 1 is the value in a story. So if you think of going to those corporate events where they get a trainer in and they go through how to write your values, how to write your mission, goal setting, all those little things that help you really build up that background, that idea behind the business to help give it that spine to grow from and give it that direction. That is what Module 1 is all about. It is about finding that direction. It is about getting that vision. It is about sorting your mission and having everything on the same page ready to go so that everything from here on out makes sense. It all aligns. So we have, let's see, we're going to keep going down. We have 12 sessions in Module 1. We then move on to Module 2, which is looking at your point of difference. How are you going to stand out from every other agritourism provider? How are you going to be uniquely you? So we're going to have a look at trends. We're going to have a look at the sigmoid curve, where you sit as your business, when to evolve, and industry trends. How do you be unique? How do you communicate your uniqueness? And how do you measure the success? How do you create those memorable moments? So we've got 17 sessions in Module 2, which then moves us on to Module 3, which is a bit of a mammoth module. It's all about creating your image. The good thing about these, they're all short bite-sized videos, so you can plan to put a couple aside and just do 1 or 2 a day and it not take up a lot of time and slowly get through. Or if you have a lot of time, you can do a full chunk. But it makes it more manageable for you to get through everything. So we want to manage expectations. We want to know what the customer notices. We want to have a look at the different aspects of image that are available, the different way that you present yourself, the different way that people look at you, the different areas of image in itself. So we go through them one by one on creating that image and the important aspects of the image. How to grow your brand, whether it's on the farm, off the farm. And we really go into the whole brand journey. So you've got 28 sessions in Module 3 before we move on to the visitor experience. So this is really the bones. This is, I am now going to create the experience. I have all the imagery behind me. I have the mission behind me. I have my vision. Now I need to build it. We're going to go through the different types of displays, signage, lighting, customer flow, how to lay out your floor plan, what you need to consider when doing your displays, ticketing, parking, different layout types and examples. And there we go, we're going into displays now. Making the farm accessible so that everyone can access your farm and you get known as that really accessible location. So this one's divided into sections because there's so much in it. There's the layout, there's the displays, there's the signage, there's the accessibility. So we've got 5 different chunks. But again, we're only looking at few-minute videos and then the lesson text to go with that for each one. So it's really bite-sized. Then we want to look at our pricing strategies and we want to add value. So the next module is adding value, talking about gross margin, price points, price barriers, where we lose our profit, how we add our value, technology. So we've got 13 sessions in that one before we move on to farm entertainment. Module 6 is again divided into sections. We have some general farm entertainment, and that will go down for 14 sessions before we start on farm workshops. Farm workshops is 12 sessions, and then we introduce the food offer on the farm, which is 5. And then pick your own, or you pick, which again is 5 sessions. So it's a bit of a chunky one as well. There's got a bit in that one. And then module 7, marketing. So we go through marketing, we go through how to sell our story, we go through online, we go through print marketing, we've got case studies, we've got different marketing techniques. Goes on for a fair while again, and we have 24 sessions currently in the marketing one for general marketing, and then we've got off-site marketing. So off-site marketing is all about setting yourself up at an event, at a market, and you've got 9 lessons there that goes through bit by bit of setting up at a market and an event and getting your image across to be appropriate for the event. Then we're going to have a look at farm stays and farm restaurants, as they're really common things that people tend to do in the agritourism industry. So we have a look at the different parts of farm stays with examples from Chestnut Brae in Nannup, and that's 11 sessions long before we move on to farm restaurants, looking at the different aspects that you need to consider when setting up a farm restaurant, which is currently 8 sessions long. Mental health and agritourism is our next one. So again, this is divided into sections. We have a counsellor who has run talks on mental health and agritourism and things like that, who has helped to really put the bones in for this module. So we have a bit of an introduction to mental health and agritourism before we have a look at symbols and projects within the mental health and the agritourism industry. Now we actually look at agritourism and mental health side by side. So we have a number of different things there. And then mental health for you and for your team, helping to make sure that the business and the operational side is running smoothly. The last official module is the future of your business. So we're looking at regenerative tourism, we're looking at networking, we're looking at managing expectations, legacy, succession planning, and then we're looking at the different technologies that come out. Now, as new technologies emerge, we will start adding more into this one. This one's going to be one that just keeps growing. Now, each module you get access to 1 week at a time. So this is module 10. In 10 weeks, you'll get access to this one. So that makes it more achievable. It makes it something that you can get through. You're not feeling like you're drowning in all the information to begin with. We then have global trends and case studies. So every now and then we're going to put up reasonably regularly a case study of a different venue or a new global trend, something that we have found and has caught our eye. Considerations in an economic downturn. This is one that you get access to from week 1. So we are in an interesting point in the world at the moment, and some people are trying to work out how to stand out, how to survive, how to stay afloat. So we have access to this one straight away. And then at the end, we also have a bonus module. This one is for new employees. Now, we get a lot of employees that have never had a job before. They don't know what to expect. And you get to help them on their way to mould what sort of worker they're going to be. A lot of people struggle with people coming through and not understanding the expectations in the workforce. So here we break down a few of the things that really help to build that initial relationship, that initial understanding of how the business works and how it works to work in a team and a workforce. And then we have resources. So in our resources section, we have a couple of books that you can download. We have a produce manual that goes through different products bit by bit and breaks them down of what's going to help you in your signage strategy, their benefits, their uses, things like that. So we go into a bit of depth in the resources as well, which you have access to from the very beginning as well. So that is a look all the way down through everything. So there's a fair bit in there. Now, when you actually start the course, this is what it's going to look like. You have your video, you have your lessons down the side for that section, which is why some of the modules are divided into sections to make them more categorized and bite-sized so you can see your way through. Underneath the module, you have text that we can go through, and then you can mark it as complete before continuing on. So if we go into one of the main categories, value in a story, you will notice this one also has a downloadable here. So the downloadable is a team tracker. It allows your whole team to go through the course, and you can write down their name on the tracker and then tick off or date what module they get to. That way, even though someone's pressed complete, the other person still knows where they're up to, and you can keep track of things like that. We have all sorts of resources, pick your own manuals, handouts, building your store blueprint of your vision and your mission that are available inside the lessons as downloadable. You've got a little section to read before the video, then you have your key points and your action items, which as you go beyond the introduction, they get a lot more in-depth of what you can do, things you can consider, having reflection points, stopping and thinking about how you can do it and how you can action it, as well as, of course, the action points that give you some ideas of how you can action. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some clarity. I hope that gives you an idea of what the Academy is and how we run, and enjoy the journey.